sociology on global and local relations of International Sociological Association, Professor Natalia Valita, Professor Anand Kumarji, who has always agreed whenever I ask him to come in any seminar or workshop or conference. Even in my department, he has devoted a lot of time in developing the syllabus on globalization and development studies in 2011. And Shri N.K. Singh ji, a well-known personality in Indian electronic media as well as in print media, and everyone knows him, and he is very intellectual person on different problems, political problems, social problems we have in our Indian society, and his perspective of media which he plays during discussions at different channels of television, and most of us have seen almost every day him on different channels. My colleague and friend, Professor Abbasi, who is also one of the founder of the Global Research and Educational Foundation India, and we together conceived the idea of forming this organization, and today it is first official conference, international conference of this organization here at IIMC. And Professor Madhav Govind, the chairperson of CSSP, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, and he has been very active and an asset in organizing this conference. But my task here is to introduce the theme of this conference. The theme of this conference we have decided is globalization, communication and cultural change. And our focus is transformation of the local communities and the rise of network society. The title itself is complicated and involves a number of concepts and constructions which have emerged in last 2-3 decades, particularly in the field of not only sociology but in entire social sciences. And globalization is a notion which can be conceptualized not only as a concept and as a processual phenomenon, it is also a political phenomenon, and it is also, we can see in the field of environmental problems which have emerged globally now, and we have global environmental movements, and which became part, and these problems are globalized in last few decades. Then another dimension which we see is that how the local communities are transforming. As a student of sociology, we have been studying for years that every society has its own social structure and its own specific culture. But today, we see that there are certain processes which are transforming not only culture of different societies, but also transforming the structure of the societies. So in this sense, if I go back And while I read a very famous work of Indian sociologist, Professor Yogendra Singh, his main argument was modernization is a process of cultural change. Cultural transformation is taking place through westernization and many other processes he has identified in that. But he said, there is no structural change. Culture is changing, but structure is not changing. And it has been a premise, a very strong premise in sociology, particularly the functional school of sociology, that structure is very, has some dynamicity, processual characteristics, but it is static and it continues over a period of time. And therefore, it is a very difficult, very slow process that structure will change in decades or in some decades. Now we can say sometimes we cannot able to see that how things have changed over a period of time. And I was told when I was a student of MPhil that okay, if you want to observe change, at least after 10 years you can see, after a decade, that some change or some difference have taken place. But between that it is very difficult to study the process of change. At least there should be a gap of 10 years, a decade, if you want to study change in a diachronic study. But if we look on globalization as a process, we see that it addressed not only just the transformation of a particular society, but it is affecting all society of all over the world. And there are certain processes which have been identified, like homogenization of culture, then hybridization of culture, and cultural differentialism is also one of these are three important perspectives if we talk of the cultural transformation. Then communication technologies, their rise in last 2-3 decades has changed the entire scenario of communication or flow of information, if we see. And it has not only affected lifestyle of the people, but also changed a lot of the organization of the relationship at different levels. At local level, at national level, at transnational level, that is called regional in the terminology of globalization, and as well as global level. So if we want to study any process, we have to see it at different levels, its impact, its consequences. So now academics has become a very complicated process, and we have to see it at a micro level as well as macro level. So methodological problems are also we are facing as a process of globalization. Another important dimension of this particular theme is the last term which I have put in this theme, that is the rise of the network society. So local communities are transforming their structure and their culture on the one hand, but there is another debate. I think if this is, debate start with the discussion on postmodernism, and later on the globalization emerged as and both these constructs, postmodernism and globalization, posed a challenge to the project of modernity, which is assumed that since 15th century this project of modernity started in the world, and from there it spread in different parts of the world, first in American society and then throughout the globe. And it has been a very dominant paradigm to adopt. And the whole society was considered a modern society in every discipline. If you see, whether in modern literature, we talk of modern literature, modern history. So modernity has become a very accepting concept in the time frame as well as from the society point of view. And there was a distinction between traditional society and modern society. So it has also one of the very important paradigm for development for decades. But postmodern, not to that extent, but globalization has posed challenge to the project of modernity, and like postmodernists, they also argued that there is end of project of the modern. And as a result, a number of scholars came with new ideas, and one of the prominent ideas in this was from Manuel Castells, who said that a new kind of society is coming up, and he coined a term which is known as the network society. So, network and social structure, they have two different, sociologically speaking, there are two different type of structural units. The social structure is very stable in nature and continue over the time, but social network is very dynamic and flexible structures, and it can adjust itself in any kind of situation. And when there is it is a, we can say, a process rather than a structure, and it is very fluid in nature. And we can today observe that